Are you hoping to learn the common birds of North Carolina? Well, stay tuned and I'll show you 20 birds that you're likely to encounter in the Tar Heel State. Let's begin with North Carolina's state bird, the northern cardinal. The cardinal is an appropriate choice for North Carolina's state bird, as they are the species that birders are most likely to observe in the state according to eBird data. It's hard to miss males with their dazzling red plumage and bright red bills surrounded by black feathers. Females also sport the eye-catching crests of males, and while they are mostly brown, they have patches of rosy feathers on their wings, crests, and tails. Northern cardinals regularly show up at backyard bird feeders, and they love to forage along the ground in search of seeds which they open and crush using their massive bills. Mourning doves are abundant along rural roads lined with open forests in North Carolina. Seeing these peaceful birds perched along power lines is a common sight in the state. And overall, mourning doves are the 6th most commonly observed bird in North Carolina according to eBird. Male and female mourning doves look the same with their long tails, drab brown feathers, and beady eyes. Mourning doves are very social, so birders will often see them in small groups. They enjoy eating seeds from bird feeders, but they tend to be quite shy, so they will typically flush at any potential signs of danger. Turkey vultures are the only raptor that I've included on this list of 20 common North Carolina birds. They can be found year-round here, being the 17th most commonly observed bird in the state. A drive through rural North Carolina would not be complete without spotting a turkey vulture gliding through the air with their wings up at an angle. They look similar to the less common black vulture in flight, but note the shorter wings with silver feathers of black vultures. Those lucky enough to spot a mature turkey vulture at a perch won't mistake it for anything else, as they've got bright red heads. Pine warblers are the species of warbler that birders are most likely to see in North Carolina. They're found here year-round, and they often visit suet feeders and bird baths during migration and winter. Spotting them in breeding plumage is a real treat, as they sport yellow undersides, green backs, and blue-gray wings. In summer, they thrive in the millions of pine trees present in North Carolina. The downy woodpecker is North Carolina's smallest woodpecker species, but they are nonetheless reported on 1/3 of all eBird checklists here. Downy woodpeckers look very similar to the far less common hairy woodpecker, but note their petite bills, which are only about half the length of the width of the bird's head. North Carolina is home to numerous species of herons and egrets, but great blue herons are the most frequently observed. These large birds can maintain a surprisingly low profile as they forage in freshwater wetlands throughout the state. Although they're the 26th most commonly observed bird in North Carolina, birders have a tremendous chance of finding this species if they travel to habitats with fresh water. Despite their large size, they are bashful birds that commonly flush when people get too close, so be sure to give them plenty of space. American robins are heralded as the first signs of spring throughout much of the United States, but they can be found in North Carolina throughout the year. These thrushes breed in all parts of the state, but they're increasingly common as one travels further north and west into the Appalachians. Although American robins don't visit bird feeders, they enjoy stopping by bird baths and will happily feed on native trees and shrubs with berries. There are subtle differences between male and female robins, with males having dark gray heads and females having pale gray heads. Carolina chickadees are absolutely everywhere in North Carolina, being the 3rd most commonly reported bird in the state. These tiny songbirds delight backyard birders when they stop by bird feeders to grab a sunflower seed snack. Male and female Carolina chickadees look identical. Song sparrows are a species that are heard much more often than they're seen, but they're a bird North Carolinians should know, as they're the 16th most commonly observed bird here. Look for these sparrows in open habitats along agricultural fields or wetland boundaries, where you may see one perched in the open, singing away. Male and female song sparrows are identical, having brown backs and pale, streaked undersides. Canada geese are perhaps the most familiar waterfowl in North Carolina. These large geese can be found here throughout the year, though many Canada geese leave North Carolina to breed in more northerly locales during the summer. The ones who remain are more numerous during the breeding season in the western portion of the state. Male and female Canada geese are identical. They are some of the best bird parents around, with people being well aware of the ferocity of these waterfowl when defending their goslings. American goldfinches are the most commonly observed finches in North Carolina, being reported on 30% of eBird checklists. They are abundant during winter, and though they breed in massive numbers in western North Carolina, they are scarce during summer in the southeastern part of the state. Male goldfinches are stunning with their rich yellow breeding plumage, contrasting with their dark wings and caps. Females aren't quite as eye-catching, but their green and yellow breeding plumage is still an attractive sight. After summer, goldfinches begin to molt into their drab, brownish-green, non-breeding plumage. These tiny finches love to visit feeders and eat a variety of seeds. Red-bellied woodpeckers are the most common woodpeckers in North Carolina and the 7th most commonly observed birds overall in the state. They are medium-sized woodpeckers that have a gorgeous black and white zebra pattern on their backs. Males have a red cap, but this red coloration is limited to the neck in females. This species is adaptable, being able to do just as well in small city parks compared to the Appalachians. They enjoy visiting bird feeders where they may grab 1 or 2 sunflower seeds before flying off to enjoy their meal. Gray catbirds are mimics who are related to northern mockingbirds. They can be found in North Carolina throughout the year, where they frequent thickets and forest understories. Here, they pluck berries from shrubs and seek insects for snacks. Male and female gray catbirds look identical, with their gray bodies, dark caps, and red patches beneath their tails. They don't typically stop by bird feeders, but they may munch on suet or bathe in bird baths. Although birders are not likely to see laughing gulls away from the ocean, this species is perhaps the most frequently seen bird by those visiting North Carolina's coastal areas. Here, laughing gulls rest on beaches while searching for snacks left by careless beachgoers. Male and female laughing gulls look the same, with their dark heads and white eye arcs in their breeding plumage. After summer, they ditch their dark heads in favor of a pale head with scarcely any dark coloration. However, they keep their gray wings throughout the year. Blue jays love to call North Carolina home. These boisterous birds are the 8th most commonly observed birds here, and males and females look identical throughout the year. They are somewhat of a controversial bird among backyard birders, with some appreciating the wonderful splash of color that they provide, while others dislike how intimidating blue jays can be to the other birds that visit their feeders. Those who offer peanuts at their feeders will make lots of blue jay friends, as this is their favorite food. Another familiar bluebird in North Carolina is none other than the eastern bluebird. Eastern bluebirds are right behind blue jays, being the 9th most commonly observed birds in North Carolina. While blue jays are related to crows, eastern bluebirds are thrushes who are related to robins. Males are unforgettable with their deep blue backs and orange chests. Females are more subtle, with blue-gray backs and pale orange chests. Eastern bluebirds don't usually visit bird feeders, but those who offer mealworms may be able to entice these songbirds to visit. Eastern bluebirds also love heated bird baths in winter. The eastern towhee is the most frequently observed sparrow in North Carolina. Both sexes have orange sides, though males have black heads and females have brown. Despite being large sparrows, eastern towhees rarely visit bird feeders, preferring to stay concealed in dense shrubs. House finches are well adapted to surviving in urban areas of North Carolina. They're not native to the state, with the birds existing here being descendants of escaped birds from New York City. Still, they've settled in well to North Carolina, and they are enjoyed by those who see them visiting their bird feeders. Male house finches have a red chest, while females are brown with streaked undersides. White-breasted nuthatches are charming songbirds that creep up and down trees in search of seeds and insects. They happily visit bird feeders to grab sunflower seeds and peanuts. Male white-breasted nuthatches have darker caps than females, but it is often very difficult to distinguish between the sexes. Very adaptable white-breasted nuthatches can flourish in small stands of trees or massive forests where they nest in tree cavities. Last but not least is the northern mockingbird. These impressive songsters are the 13th most commonly observed birds in North Carolina, where they thrive in urban habitats as well as rural areas with hedgerows and thickets. Northern mockingbird males and females are identical, and while they rarely visit bird feeders, they are often found in backyards where they eat fruits and harass any birds that approach their nests too closely. I hope you enjoyed learning about 20 common North Carolina birds. If you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to Worldwide Birder Classroom for more informative bird content. Happy birding!